Okay, so my name's Marc Hockings. I'm at the University of Queensland. I'm also the Vice Chair for Science with the World Commission on Protected Areas. And I just want to say a little bit about the relationship of the World Heritage Outlook process to a number of other initiatives and tools, but most particularly the Green List of Protected Areas that was launched a couple of nights ago. But just to set us in a little bit of a broader background, I think World Heritage Outlook joins a whole suite of tools that have been developed over the last decade and a half around the issue of management effectiveness of protected areas. Systems that help us understand and also provide the basis for us to improve the management of protected areas. And a lot of those have been developed based around a framework that we prepared within IUCN and the World Commission on Protected Areas, a framework for evaluating the effectiveness of management of protected areas that sets out an approach and a series of criteria and associated indicators. There has been a previous tool developed for World Heritage at a very detailed site level, and that was a tool called Enhancing Our Heritage, which is a detailed site-based monitoring and assessment system for World Heritage, but a lot more detailed, spending a few months at least and developing monitoring programs. Another tool that's been developed and applied, it was shares the name with this, and I guess it was partly the inspiration for World Heritage Outlook, is the Outlook report that was developed by the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park Authority following a review of their legislation that requires them to assess and report on the outlook for the Great Barrier Reef every 5 years. The first of those was prepared in 2009. And it's a desk review, very much in the way that this is a desk review, but a very detailed one. It's evidence-based, it includes an assessment of management effectiveness, and then it brings together the information on the best available knowledge on status, on an assessment of management, an assessment of risk, to create an outlook for the Great Barrier Reef. And the second of those outlook reports was released earlier this year. That approach, this idea of an outlook of looking not only what's the current state, but how is it looking forward, has been picked up in things like the State of Environment reporting in Australia as well. At about the same time as Tim and Elena and the people at the World Heritage unit at IUCN started to think about World Heritage Outlook, we were working on an idea of what we call the Green List of Protected Areas. And the idea of the Green List is to establish or develop a standard for good protected area management, and then a process that will allow us to essentially assess the management of a site against that standard. I'm not going to go into the detail of that now. Some of you I know were at the session that just finished over in Hall 3A1, where we talked about the Green List process. There'll be a drop-in session at Protected Planet Pavilion tomorrow at 8:30 if you want to come and learn more about that. But anyway, it struck us that we didn't want to have two systems being developed, particularly within IUCN, that were not connected. So right from the very earliest days, we worked together. So to work together to align the criteria, the indicators and the standard that we were developing for the Green List with the assessment method developed for World Heritage Outlook. So they're very closely aligned, they look at similar issues, and they both derive from the IUCN Management Effectiveness Framework. With any development process, obviously things develop as they go along. We've finished the pilot phase with the Green List, we're doing a review of that. We need to go back now and I guess recheck the alignment with the World Heritage Outlook process, but the intent and the commitment is that we'll bring these processes into line so that we can use information from the World Heritage Outlook process to recognise areas that have met the standard for the Green List, that could be put on the Green List, but also we can use it to identify what are the improvements that are needed at sites. So I think both the World Heritage Outlook process and the Green List process are not just about recognising the sites in the green area, sites that might go on the green list, but providing information and a process to help lift the management of sites. So we want to see as many sites as possible get on the green list, and I'm sure the World Heritage people want to see that dial spin around to the right-hand side so that all of the World Heritage sites are in the good area, the conserved area. And surely, you know, there can be no more important collection of sites to do that for than the World Heritage sites. So I think they're very closely aligned. We can work together. They're using similar processes, and we intend to keep it that way.